Is it too crazy to activate the wildcard in Gameweek 28? We're going to check that right now, but before we do that, if you enjoyed my content and want to see more, subscribe to the channel, like it, write down a comment if you think I'm crazy by considering using a wildcard in 28. Am I not crazy? Will you consider it? Write down your opinion in the comment section. Now, let's dive into Gameweek 28 and onwards and see what our goal from now until the end of the season will be. My goal as a wildcarder in Gameweek 28, if I use it, is going to be to cover as many options as possible that are going to have a double up from now up until the end of the season, and have some players with good fixtures right now that can be easily rotated with some players going forward. We're going to pick our bench options from the double ups right now, as we don't want to use transfers for players that are going to have a double up. We are going to pick most probably now the goalkeeper pair that is going to be from now up until the end of the season, and we are going to pick players, as I already mentioned, that are having good fixtures right now at the moment and up until game week 33, where you can just adapt players and swap players and just have everything you require. We are going to most probably avoid teams that are not having such a good double up regardless in 34 or 37, and we will do that draft with the thought that we will use our free hit in game week 29, so we are not focusing on anyone with any particular fixture in game week 29, and we're solely focusing on using the chip to focus game week 28, skip 29, and then from 30 onwards we're going to consider teams like we likely to have another double up in the future. So let's dive into it. We're going to start from back to front, and we're going to go with our goalkeeper's pair. Looking at the fixtures, let's open one fixture panel. Looking at the fixture difficulty rating, I see that at the moment, I won't lie, I like this fixture run from Bournemouth. I've already seen it in other videos during that week, and fixtures like Sheffield and Luton at home, then Everton and Palace at home, so 4 home fixtures in a row, with Luton as a next fixture, and then having a double up in 34 against Villa, most probably with Wolves, is another game week where we might consider using the Bournemouth goalkeeper. Then it's Brighton, Arsenal, Brentford and Chelsea. So from 32 maybe we skip 33, and 34 another possible double up, and then we can just not put the goalkeeper. But before that fixture run seems crazy to avoid. So I'm going to swap in right now Neto. He's nailed, he saves a lot of shots, he's good on penalties, everything screams points from his point of view. The other goalkeeper that I'm going to take into consideration is the Manchester City goalkeeper. I know that seems crazy and we can maybe get a defender, but which defender are we getting? Ruben Dias, who is hell of a expensive player right now, and not nailed in every game. The only nailed player in their defense is called Ederson, and I mean, looking at fixtures from 32 onwards, like Crystal Palace, Luton, then 34, most probably they're not going to double up as they have European football still. Then it's Forest, Wolves, Fulham and West Ham. So the only time we're not using him is up until game week 32 and in 34. After that we have a double game week player with a very solid performance ahead of him, and that's the strongest period of Manchester City where they tend to destroy everyone. So I'm immediately putting him in second place in my team, as I will cover the defense pretty well with that. We have a double up right now for Neto and a double up in the future for Neto, and we have a double up for Ederson as well. Everything is looking pretty spicy. Maybe if you decide to bench boost in 37 and Neto does not have the optimal fixture, they play Brentford, you can rely on that as well. If Bournemouth advance, oh no, they are out of the FA Cup. If the team they're facing in 30, no, they're not going to most probably have another blank. So yeah, They are not having a double up after Gameweek 28, maybe after 34, sorry, but you can always transfer him out in 37 and get like a full double up with a good fixture. We don't know yet, but it's most likely Manchester City will. Next up, we are going to focus on defense. The defense, I'm going to approach it with caution, because we don't know the defenders that are going to be first of all fit, and second of all are going to play a good role in the future. Teams like Spurs at the moment are having an okay fixture run from 30 onwards. It's Luton, West Ham, Forest, but then it's a disaster. So I may not include a defender here from their side. Looking at the fixtures and looking from 28 basically up until 32, apart from Bournemouth, Chelsea are not having a too bad of a fixture run, to be honest. And picking a defender from their side, maybe called Gusto, like if you see James, is out, unknown return date. But Gusto has been performing not too shabby, yet they're not too solid in defense. But Gusto, you have a double game week player pretty soon. You have a player that is nailed. You have a Chelsea with a pretty comfortable fixture run up until this point, and 34 against Brighton. If Brighton are out of Europe, they will have a double up, but in 37 they are having a double up, most probably for sure if they do not in 34. So you can pick a Chelsea defender here and just keep him and you'll be alright. Burnley, United, okay, you bench him. Sheffield, Everton, good fixture. So the first defender that's going in, it's called Gusto. I know that this is not a highly considered pick at the moment, only 6% ownership, but I believe that he can get good returns with the upcoming fixtures. Looking at other players, I like the Crystal Palace fixtures. Like, they are going to have a double up against Newcastle right here in 34, so they're a good team to target at the moment. Yeah, they have two difficult fixtures facing City and Liverpool, but getting a defender from their side playing in a 3-4-3 formation seems like a reasonable option. They can be benched every week whenever you feel like, they can be relied on whenever you feel like. 34 is a good thing, then okay fixtures, 37 once again, if West Ham are still in Europe. No, they do not care about West Ham, they are going to face Newcastle, so yeah, nothing to be worried there. So only City and Liverpool, you can bench them there. Okay, just an okay pick in my opinion, and I will go for Munoz. I know he's new to the Prem, he's not getting into too good of a chances, like he doesn't have a lot of expected goal data, but he will get more accustomed. He's way more attacking than Mitchell. If you go and see Mitchell at the moment, he is not providing too solid of numbers, but Munoz may be a cheeky pick. You can always go for Andersen and just pick the nailed player, but at the moment he doesn't seem to be getting a lot of attacking returns, and he has scored 2 goals, but not since game week 7. So let's go for Munoz for now. You can always bench him. It's a good thing to add a Crystal Palace player there, in my opinion. Going and looking forward, I would like to still own an Arsenal defender, so I will be going with Gabriel. I believe having an Arsenal player at the moment, with the way they are destroying everyone in their path, is a good thing. They are going to have a double up. They are having a cheeky bad fixture in game week 30, but after that Luton, Brighton, they're not too good. Aston Villa okay, Wolves, Spurs, maybe Wolves in 34 or in 37 when they face United, they will face Chelsea, but before that they have a pretty good fixture run and you can always bench a player there. Looking at good fixture runs, let's continue going downwards. Luton, so Bournemouth in 32, they are not having a double up in 34, but you have still good fixtures. Let's see. Let's go down to Newcastle, West Ham, Everton, Fulham. Then they have in 34 not too much. United in 34 are facing Newcastle and Sheffield, most probably. Bournemouth, you can play them against Everton, you can do it against Brentford, you can do it against Bournemouth, you can bench them against Chelsea and Liverpool. Okay, Wolves defenders look alright at the moment. They're having a double up in 34 when they face Arsenal, so it's not ideal. After that is Wootton Crystal Palace. So yeah, I would still go for a Wolves defender, and I will still go for Dawson. In my opinion, he is the best defender from their bunch. Yeah, he's not as attacking as Ain't Nuri, but he can get good returns while being with Wolves. Some clean sheets here and there, you can pick him. And the final defender here, I'm deliberating between Van Hecke and Brentwaite. Let's see who has more favorable fixtures. Brighton are out of FA Cup, Everton are out as well. So in 33 it's Burnley. Let's see, Munoz, I'm benching him in 32 and 33, while Everton are having Burnley and then Chelsea. So who am I benching here? Gusto is playing, Gabriel will be playing, Dawson will be playing. So yeah, I can go for Brentwaite as they tend to keep more clean sheets than Bournemouth. So Brentwaite is going to be my final defender. And now we have our defensive line. We have players that are going to double in the future. We have players with good fixtures. Basically everyone from our defense is doubling up in the future and is having okay fixture run going forward from now onwards, regardless of the double ups. So yeah, I'm tempted to keep that defensive line for now. It looks pretty solid. I know that I do not own anyone from Liverpool or Spurs, but Liverpool with so many injuries are not looking likely to keep a lot of clean sheets. Trent will return after the international break, so Bradley will lose his status. I don't want to have a player that is not playing every minute possible in defense. I do not want to waste any transfers in defense, so I'm staying with that defense for now. Let's go up front, and in midfield we're going to build that foundation here, and we're going to focus on players having double ups and good fixtures as well. Let's start with adding the expensive players so we can have the budget. I'm opting for Haaland. I cannot go without him. I know that he faces Liverpool, then Arsenal, then Villa, but after that it's Palace, Wootton. In 34 they're facing Spurs, okay, but they are most probably going to double up in 37, where they have Forest, Wolves and Fulham at the end. I mean, come on, and they are going to double up against Brighton. Not owning Haaland seems risky and stupid. I may go for Foden as well, but maybe not immediately right now. Maybe after the international break I can replace him, or after the tough fixture ends, but for now I'm keeping Haaland. The other expensive player that I'm going for is Son. Son up until game week 30... So 32 is facing Nottingham Forest, and after that, or even at that time, I can go for Salah, as after 32 they will have double ups, and I will have the money most probably to go for. So for now it's Son. Penalty taker nailed. With Richarlison being out, he's played as a striker, so a perfect opportunity to exploit the returns from Heung-min Son. And the last player that is nailed in my side for sure is Bukayo Saka. Not owning him at the moment seems stupid. He's on penalties, he's their best player, and I do not see a reason not to own him. Now we are done with 3 of the better forwards at the moment. We need to still focus on Gameweek 28, as this is the most important week now, as it's the next week. And adding Dominic Solanke seems like a no-brainer, and I will be adding him. The other player that I will be adding for sure is Ollie Watkins. He's in a particularly good form, and going without him once again seems strange and not too good. I know that this lineup is used basically everywhere at the moment, but yeah, Watkins, Solanke and Haaland for me are the optimal 3 strikers to own, forwards to own at the moment, so I'm going to put them in my lineup. Looking at midfield, we're going to play 3-4-3, so we need to put in a player that is going to be performing well and is having a good fixture run and is having a comfortable double up. I'm deliberating between Gordon, but Gordon with players returning, he's not going to lose his place, so he is going to do well, but he will lose his penalty taker status. But he will face West Ham, Everton, Fulham, Spurs who are leaky, United who are not too good. So going for Gordon seems like a really good transfer, and I can keep him for the long run. He will face Crystal Palace. I know that I have a defender from Crystal Palace, but regardless of that, I believe that's a really strong player. Keeping Saka and Gordon for the rest of the period is looking likely. I want to put in a Manchester United player for their double, as they're going to be facing Sheffield and most probably Newcastle, who are leaky in defense. But I'm going to most probably replace Watkins then, or Solanke. We have to see, most probably Watkins, and just put in Højlund when he's back fit. If not, maybe Garnacho. Maybe I'll pick Garnacho right now and I will not care about that and just have a player right now. And I'll still have 10 million to exploit at the moment. Garnacho is offensive, Garnacho is sharp, Garnacho is nailed, Garnacho is everything you're looking at a player right now. So I'm not going to take a risk to go without a United player in my lineup for their strong run of fixtures. So I'm going for him. And the last player that I will go for, it may surprise a lot of people at the moment and may not seem like the best possible option looking at the fixtures. But exactly because of the fixtures, I'm going for Jarrod Bowen. He's facing in 28 Burnley, then Villa will not care, Newcastle and Spurs. Okay, so maybe he's not the ideal player to pick. Let's take a closer look. So Liverpool not at the moment, maybe from 31 onwards. Fulham, no one in particular. Eze screams points at the moment. So I'm going to go for Eze. I do not care if he is made of glass or something, but Eze is a good pick. We can always transfer out Eze for someone else when they have a better fixture run. We can always rely on Eze. If he's injured, we can put in Garnacho with good fixture run. So yeah, looking at that lineup, that seems like a pretty good wildcard draft for me. I don't know what you think about it, but I would like to hear your comments in the comment section. I know that I own 2 Crystal Palace defenders, players, not defenders as a whole, but they have a good fixture run. They're with a new manager. They're looking far better under a new managership compared to Roy Hodgson. So I'm looking pretty comfortable. The only thing that I'm not owning and I would like to buy is a second City attacker and a Liverpool attacker. But I can get to that from Son, and I can get from that from Eze or Saka if it has to go, or maybe from Watkins down to Højlund and then migrating Eze to Foden. We can do a lot of gymnastics around our side, but we still have 4.2 million, so let's see if we can do the maths. So if we go for Salah, who is the best option from Liverpool, we can go for Foden with 8 million, and I have money for Højlund 7.1. So yeah, it looks ideal at the moment. So here we add Son, and here we add Eze, and we're looking pretty spicy at the moment. This is a possibility. There is a possibility to migrate players left, right, and center. I know that owning a 5.5 keeper on the bench seems risky and useless at the moment, but I will not use him up until Gameweek 33 when Neto is having a tough fixture. So why should I care? Why should I waste transfer? Maybe I should get a cheap player now and then bring in Ederson, but bringing a goalkeeper never seems like a good option. I don't know about you, but I feel very comfortable with that draft. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. Subscribe once again, like the video. I will see you soon with another informative video for Gameweek 28. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.